Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Some massive news Monday night for the Florida State fans coming out of the recruiting trail. Four-star defensive lineman Kevin Wynn committing to Florida State. Dale, two things. One, talk about Kevin Wynn. This kid is a man amongst boys. Probably the best way to phrase his film. But I think more importantly for Florida State fans, and something that we've been going back and forth on over the last couple of weeks is, Florida State recruiting the line of scrimmage out of high school ranks just a little bit better. And you look at the 2025 cycle, your three top commits, all top 100 prospects are along the line of scrimmage. I think this is the step that a lot of Florida State fans wanted to see Mike Norvell take on the recruiting trail. And I think he's taken that step. Florida State fans fired up about this cat. Before we get into him, just want to say thank you to you guys and to the Florida State fans. It sounds like Mike Norvell, the Noles, they're going to be filling it up over the next couple of weeks. I mean, this is the fourth commitment for Florida State. We know it's going to be a busy next couple of weeks. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you guys. And Dill, I know Kevin Wynn is probably one of your favorite players in this class. I'll give you the T-box here. What's he bring to Florida State?
I mean, I think the thing that really pops off the screen to you when you watch him play is just a really explosive player off the line of scrimmage. And I think maybe people concerned a little bit about the size, some of the length things, some of the traits you want to see. But when you're that athletic, that explosive off the line of scrimmage, plays with good leverage, and can use his hands pretty well for a guy who doesn't necessarily have tree trunk arms, I mean, this is a type of guy I think can play really, really good football.
Hey, another defensive lineman that I heard a ton of nerds talking about the lack of length, and he is pretty damn good college football player, probably going to be a pretty damn good NFL player, is Braden Fisk. Like, I think that conversation sometimes gets overblown. You look at Braden Fisk just winning with power, with athleticism. You look at Kevin Wynn, quite frankly, you said it best, at 6'2", 320, this kid's a fire hydrant. He eats people up along the line of scrimmage, plays with low pads, but Dill, you said it best. His get off, that first step is dynamite for somebody his size. And you kind of look at Kevin Wynn. I think he can do everything you want on the inside of the defensive line. He's a guy that can do the dirty work, eat up double teams, play with low pads, and let his linebackers come downhill. But he's also a defensive lineman that can wreck some games, get into the backfield, blow up plays, give you some juice in the pass rush. Those kind of prospects are really hard to find in terms of doing both of those things at a high level. Kevin Wynn, I think, seriously can do that. Now, you get into the film, Dill. I mean, again, this kid, just a man amongst boys, for lack of better terms. The get off is kind of something that I really want to pay attention to. And again, he's 6'2", 320, and how he gets off the line of scrimmage, you're going to see him chase this play down from the backside. How many 320-pound bodies are moving like this? He's elite numbers in the shot put. That certainly makes sense. I love watching this kid get off. He's a dancing bear in the backfield, really, really agile, can run the line of scrimmage. And then you talk about just power in the hands. I mean, he's the first one out of his stance, dominating, just physically imposing his will on opposing interior offensive lineman. Dill, this kid is a gem for Florida State.
And that's the big thing. Again, like when you talk about that length conversation, is that 6'2" the ideal kind of height you want for your defensive lineman? When you're getting off the ball that quickly, getting into guys so quickly, it's kind of what you mentioned with Braden Fisk. I mean, it didn't matter because he was just so quick, so much quicker off the ball than pretty much anyone he played with. And this guy, when he does that, he gets his hands on guys really quickly, shocks them, and uses that explosiveness to then go make plays. And frankly, his ability to find the ball is something that I think stands out, where you see a lot of big athletic defensive linemen. Yeah, they get into the backfield and then the running back runs right by him. He keeps his head up. He's got his eyes on the ball carrier, and he's making these plays. He's not just blowing up into guys and then letting the running backs run right by.
Yeah, and one of the things that I love about Kevin Wynn is just the variety of ways that he can impact the game and how he can win up front, right? We just saw, some of just the raw power. Like, I'm just going to put my hands on you, push you behind the line of scrimmage, get off the block, make a play. I mean, how about like quickness off the line, using my hands to get disengaged, and then, like you said, keeping his eyes up in the backfield, making plays. I think this kid is a box checker. And Dill, going to Florida State's class in 2025, like, I know it's early. Florida State fans, I know, certainly aren't panicking. You look at the 5 commitments that they have in the fold. I mean, one, Tramel Jones just showed out at the Elite 11. I think that's a quarterback that certainly is going to be a 4-star come signing day, kind of like Luke Romanoke. And this was a guy that just steadily rose up the rankings, ended up being a top 50 national prospect. But more importantly than the quarterback spot, I love this. I mean, Solomon Thomas, 5-star offensive lineman, can play tackle, can play guard. Javion Hilson, a guy that Texas was turning up the heat on. Florida State keeps him in the class. And then you add Kevin Wynn. I think this class is prioritizing the line of scrimmage. It certainly is paying off. You have guys like Peyton Joseph who seem to be trending for Florida State as well. I'm excited to see how this class finishes. Again, Florida State fans, we're not panicking about only having 5 commitments in the middle of June. We know Mike Norvell is going to turn it up. There is a lot of traction around this program. And Dill, we said it back in January. Like, name a program that kids want to play for more right now than Florida State. Mike Norvell is creating a lot of relationships. Commitments will be on their way. Florida State gets a good one, and Kevin Wynn. Appreciate you guys rocking with it. Again, if y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you guys. We'll talk to y'all later.